Good day everyone! Welcome back to the newest patch of Age of Mythology Retold, where buildings have become overpowered and archers are... I don't want to say trash, but yeah. Archers are archers. Last game I tried to get my hands on some Helios gameplay, as well as experimenting a little bit with Hyperion. I did not do that because my opponent surrendered at Classical Age. By opponent I mean like balanced Titan AI. Maybe I should experiment with these, but that's gonna have to be for another time. So yeah, let's actually try to run them all. I hope that this is not going to bite me in some unmentionables. It's Acropolis, but it's also Shennong. So I think this should be fine. If I had known how to play as Shennong, it's not that I don't know how to play as Shennong, it's that I don't know how to play as Chinese. I think that's going to be a major downfall of me, at least at this time. The good thing about Shennong is that he basically provides you with 3 myth units while you have no tempo, which is bananas, because I'm pretty sure that the only god to do that would be Poseidon, and that was only possible in a modded version of a game made by my friend Sophie. Sophie, shout out to HF on what is it? Onagers on Aggressive Stance. Sophie made it so that Poseidon, in his infinite wisdom, granted you the ability to summon Cyclops in Archaic Age, which I think it's like 3 Cyclops, and you have to convert like villagers, but those are 3 Cyclopses for the price of like 3 villagers. You have no idea how ridiculously busted that is. I don't think that Sophie has any idea how ridiculously busted that is, but that's a separate topic for another time, I suppose. Thankfully, I know Sophie well enough to know that, hey, this is throwing the game's balance, you know, out of the window is actually a compliment to her, or at least it should be. The last has some fascinating ideas and is very hardworking. What is that sound? Adamantine shingles. Shingle me timbers. Actually, I'm gonna need a lot of gold, don't I? Well, I say a lot of gold. I need some gold, and also preferably a temple. I miscalculated. Whatever. I'm not gonna try to rush my opponent as early as possible, simply because I like to live. I have I have a singular scout, and that scout is going to be significantly more useful for picking up relics more than anything. So let's not do stupid the way that I enjoy doing stupid. Where is my food? What is going on? Now, question. Do I go defensive? Because I feel like I'm already defensive enough on account of living on Acropolis, so I'm gonna go on the offensive and try to take down my opponent as fast as humanly possible. Isn't it weird that the priests and these little Chinese pioneers are the only hero units that actually require you to pick up a separate upgrade in order to pick up relics? Like everyone else, things like, what are they called? Things like the Hersier or the Greek heroes, those guys do not care. You can pick up any relics you want from any point of the game, so long as you have a hero. And admittedly, Egyptians have a pharaoh that doesn't need to have Hands of the Pharaoh. But that's also like, yeah, every single civilization has heroes that, at least at a certain level of the game, don't need additional upgrades just to do the thing that all heroes do. And yet here are the Chinese that absolutely must have a separate upgrade if you want them to pick so much as adamantine shingles, one of the most useless relics in the entire game. What is this? Oh, hi, a relic. I take everything back. And don't even get me started on Herseer. Herseer! You can train Herseer in the Archaic Age as many as you want, provided that you've got a stable enough economy. For nothing! And then they go out and they just absolutely shred everything that you have to offer. I think I'm starting to become less and less sane as time goes on, and that is fine. Hello. Oh, that's an Anubite. And that's a pharaoh. Not keen. Go away. Those are snakes. Please live. He did not live. I'm not even gonna bother try to see where the guy is, because I know for a fact that he did not live. I saw him die on the minimap. That's enough information for me to know that he's dead. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. 3 slingers are enough to absolutely kill me. Alright, let's retreat. I've lost 2 of my... I've lost everyone. Dang it. At least so did he. Can you go away? I'm not keen on you. Alright, so that was a disaster. I'm not particularly keen on talking about what's just happened. That's a bit overzealous. I constantly forget that the Chinese have a separate little thing for you to help you against raids, or at least early raids, early enough to where it's going to mess you up. And that's the cavalry, the Chinese terracotta cavalry. It probably tells you a lot about my elo that I'm not actually good at this game. I just pretend like I am, because that makes more content. That makes funnier content, if nothing else. Bloop. I have way too much food for my liking. I need to think about spending that. Let's attack you with a bunch of infantry and archers. It's not like Egyptians have some of the best counters to both. In classical age, mind you. Oh, that's a bit more like it. Oh. Buddy. I'm playing against Egyptian patron goddess, which is always fun times and never a pain in the arse. Yeah, I figured something like that might happen. Do I have literally anything in order to protect me against the massive quantities of axemen that are going to go and kill me at the earliest possible convenience? No? That's unfortunate. See, what you would most likely want to do in the situation in which you are me is ideally you would want to invest yourself in some kind of counter infantry unit, except for the fact that Chinese only have archers, and guess what do Egyptians have? Some of the hardest hitting counter archers in the entire game. It's not even close. You think you're about to attack your opponent with an unbeatable army of both infantry and cavalry. With both archers and infantry, the two guys that are supposed to counter each other's weaknesses. And then come Egyptians, and everything that you held dear to yourself is shredded like a bag of shredded cheese. It's not even funny. It is a little funny, but it's mostly just sad. Why are you gathering wood and gold? What made you think that I needed either of those things? Are you perhaps naff? At least I'm producing from 2 town centers, which is not something that I usually do, but this... by this time, this age. I wanna try to go for Nuba, because I think that it's going to be more interesting. At least I hope. She does help your ranged soldiers, but I don't think that it's going to matter. I just don't. Let's try another frontal assault, eh? I do not like those sounds. Don't do those sounds to me, please. I'm gonna whine and moan about how Chinese are not getting the same treatment as literally anyone else, but realistically I know that Chinese are one of the strongest options currently in the game! No! There we go. There's what I was looking for. The Taubu can die. Retreat! I need a medic. I also need significantly more people on wood. Ah! This is a mess. Come on, lads. We can win. Never mind that his, whatchamacallit. Never mind that the opponent's score is like 10 times ours. I could really use another tower, and I know for a fact that I'm not gonna get one, because all I'm going to get are like dragons and stuff from the 3rd age. I have nothing to my name. That's a large army! Let's not do that, shall we? Actually, that's a myth unit. Brilliant. That's a bunch of sages lost. You can go away now. Why do you insist on attacking the opponent heroes? Move away from there. I think I've lost. Yeah. Yeah, no. You know what? The first time that I failed my frontal assault, it should have been a clear sign that, hey, this is not gonna go well. And in my defense, which I currently lack, it hasn't gone well. So yeah. Cool! Now, what have I done wrong? Everything from the looks of it. I lacked a purely offensive god power, I think. The closest thing to that I've got is lightning weapons, and lightning weapons does not lend you enough. These are... yeah, these are well fortified. And maybe that's the thing that I didn't do, is fortify everything. But alas... since when do you actually say which myth unit you're going to summon? I did not notice that. Ever. So yeah. Not a good trade. Not a good match. I think that I'm gonna call for today and maybe build something instead. See ya later.